What's up, buddies? So, sales on eBay and Poshmark have been very slow compared to the past month. And despite it being Q4, sales are down. They're not just down for me, they're down for pretty much everybody that I talk to who resells. And I don't know what to exactly attribute it to. I think it's a combination, like I said in the last video, of the eBay algorithm doing some secret chicanery behind the scenes. And also, it seems very plausible to me that used clothing is not at the top of most people's Christmas lists. So I think that accounts for the fact that sales have been slow on Poshmark as well. Most of the stuff that I buy and list on eBay, I cross-list on Poshmark as well. So my hope is that after Christmas and after the deluge of returns that I will probably get, that sales will pick back up. The logical thing to do would be to play my cards a little safer, just go out, cherry pick the stuff that's just a huge slam dunk, bide my time, watch my money, wait for sales to pick back up, and then start heavily reinvesting in used clothing. What I did instead was I went out today and spent $110 on a shitload of stuff. Let me share it with you. So this is stuff, I mean, I know that this is not a huge liability because this is stuff that is in demand. My business model, if you are new to the channel, I try to source used clothing that has a lot of demand for it. The way I do that is I look at the number of active listings, I compare that to the number of sold listings, and then I compare the solds to the number of completed listings, and I want to find something that stands a basically close to 0% chance of not selling within 90 days. This is stuff that fits those criteria. This is a large, tall, short sleeve, button down shirt. These are very in demand. Carhartt stuff it's popular with people who use it for workwear, and it's popular with people who skateboard and other related activities. This is a button down because the collar buttons to the shirt right there. If this button wasn't here, if it was a freestanding collar, this would be called a button up. A small detail that still enhances your credibility as a clothing seller when you get it right, which most people do not. I have fallen back in love with this brand. I wasn't picking it up for a while because I wasn't doing the high demand selling model, but Lacoste stuff, most of the time you look it up and you run the numbers like how I suggested, it will meet the criteria. And this is one of those cases. And all of this stuff, the standard price is $7 at Goodwill, and I typically just buy stuff I know that I'll make $7, around $7 profit on. I'm just looking to turn my money over, make 100% return in short order, and I'm content with that. This is a nothing brand as far as I can tell. This is not why I bought the shirt. The reason I bought the shirt is because it is a pearl snap button up Western shirt with all over paisley design. And those are all relevant keywords that I will and you should use in my/your listings. That design right there is called paisley. All over paisley stuff tends to have very high demand for it, even if it's a trash brand like H&M. This might be a do as I say, not as I do moment, because I did find an all over paisley H&M shirt today, and I didn't pull the trigger on it. I have an aversion, just a gut aversion to buying fast fashion stuff that's at the bottom of the market, like the true bottom shelf stuff like H&M or Zara. But it doesn't mean that's like a superstition of mine. It doesn't mean that it's not worth money potentially and not worth picking up. Anything I recommend or anything anybody on YouTube recommends, it is a very good idea to get in the habit of double checking that advice against what your eyes tell you and your thumbs tell you about what eBay is doing at that moment when you find the thing that you're going to potentially buy. That is a much better habit to get into than taking my word for everything or compiling a mental list of bolos from multiple people that's just based on tags. You need to develop kind of a cohesive, both broad and deep body of knowledge about both brands and other salient factors like I just showed you on that shirt. So always be double checking and don't just take my word for this stuff, although it is a pretty good word. This brand is garbage. Club Room, I think it's Costco, but the 100% cashmere stuff is great, especially, not exclusively, but especially if it's new with tags. I sell the used stuff whenever I find it. This is just the standard thing. This isn't gonna be worth crazy money, probably around 30 bucks. But anytime you find cashmere anything, it is incumbent upon you to be very cautious when you screen it, because most people don't donate cashmere unless it has holes in it. So go through the whole process of holding it up against the light, checking the sleeves, which is actually the hardest part because it's doubled over fabric. You can't just get the single look, if that makes sense. So you have to go in and stretch it out and look at it. Okay, I never actually bought this brand. Is that right? I think maybe I bought a jacket from them. These are leggings / yoga pants, and they're new with tags. Even used, this Beta brand yoga pants are in very, very high demand. It's like 3x demand actives versus solds. So this was a no-brainer. I got 2 pairs. Yeah, here's the other pair, same size. I'm not gonna lot them up. I don't like lotting stuff. I'm just gonna sell them individually, and I anticipate them selling quite well. I don't remember the name of these. Let's see if it's on here. They're covered in turd, which is not ideal, but these have 100% sell-through. They're very, very much in demand, and the prices are decent. I was thinking I could maybe get 70 or 80 for these. The serial number is 848132-010. If you feel like taking the time to look that up, feel free. These look like nothing to me. These look like trash to me, but they're special, I guess. I do buy hard goods when I find it, especially if it's easy to ship like this. This is actually a great movie. It's the Criterion collection, and these are 100% sell-through, and they sell for around 20 bucks used. Both discs are. It's very easy just to ship first class. I usually don't pick this stuff up, but this is from 1997. It's a vintage edition of Settlers of Catan. I didn't take the time to count all the pieces and stuff, but it was $2. So even if I piece it out and just sell the components individually, I think it'll still be worth it. And this won't be too hard to ship. I think that will in fact fit in a regional rate A long box, which would be $10.87 to ship. And those have 100% sell-through for around 40 to 50. Probably the find of the day here. And it is authentic, I believe. I'm not an expert at authenticating Prada stuff, but all the Prada stuff that I've found that is real has these big ass tags. And also, if you can see, it's attached just at the ends, which I don't think counterfeiters do. But this is cotton and cashmere. I have no idea why someone would donate this. It's like 15% cashmere. So this was actually a slam dunk. I didn't even run the numbers. I just bought it. It was $7. I hate selling pants, but diesels, I ran the numbers on these and it's really high demand and it all sells for like 40 to 80 bucks. It has flaws with it. It's got some wear on the hems there. Those hems are cuffs, I always forget. But yeah, diesel jeans, not universally worth picking up. Very few things are, or brands are, I should say. But this satisfied me. It was $8. And I'll price this at the bottom of the market just to move it fast. I price very low, relatively low compared to other active comps for stuff that I under like 50 bucks. I just want to move it. I try to push it really low unless I'm going to mark something up around 100 or more, and then I'll shoot for the moon. And this was all from one Goodwill. It was a particularly good day. Tread lightly in this brand. Obviously, if you've thrifted for any length of time, you probably find 100 of these a day. But this is floral, that's the key word. And this was kind of a gut check item. I did look at the numbers and they were promising, but I just know from experience that that kind of a floral pattern on a men's shirt is money. And how do I know it is a men's shirt? When you're looking straight at the shirt, if the buttons are on the left placket and the right one comes over the top, it's a men's. Converse, it's a women's, and that's true of pearl snap buttons as well, which can be confusing. So on a women's pearl snap, the receiving metal end will be on this side, and then this will come over on top of it, and the pearl buttons will be over here. Just another one I'm going to list for 20 or 25. Phenomenal brand. This is a universal buy. I never bought anything Roan that I could hang on to for very long. It's all sold quickly. If you just run I haven't done it, but I suspect if you just did a search for Roan, just period, across all categories, and you compared active solds completed, it'll be like 2-3x sell through. I didn't clock this as Roan at first. It was on a new clothing rack and I was moving quick. I saw this and I just grabbed it and moved on. This is actually a good general tip. If a piece of clothing is trying to communicate with you like it was a person, if it's saying an Instagram slogan at you, that tends to be an indicator that it might be worth money, because rich people love corny shit like this. They love it when their clothing talks back and says sassy stuff. So keep an eye out for that. That could be a good tip off. This is an unstructured linen blazer with, it's not a floral print, but it's some kind of modeled like stonewash print. Unstructured means it doesn't have shoulder pads. So this is just linen fabric, 100% linen. Oh, and look at that. It's a flip collar from Robert Graham. Didn't know that they made blazers. This probably won't sell until it warms up a little bit. Who knows? But this was too good to pass up. This is a hot item for, so to speak, for the hotter weather months, summer. It was $10. I think that's a pretty safe bet, and those also have high sell-through. Some Robert Graham stuff does not have high sell-through. Like there was a pair of shorts that I pulled off the same rack. I just threw it back. The numbers didn't say good things to me. And polo shirts can be really tricky with Robert Graham, so always look it up. These are great. J. Crew. This is new with tags, and this is the tag. I've sold one of these before. It had elbow patches on it. And I didn't run the numbers this time, but I just went off the fact that I ran the numbers previously and they were good, and I sold it. The little price was removed, but yeah, this is a flannel, just a basic flannel, and that will have no trouble selling at all if I price it right. It was $7. Can't believe I keep finding these. All this one Goodwill. It must be the same guy that's donating them. Mack Weldon stuff. Anything Mack Weldon has 100% sell-through. This is one of the few brands that I will just buy on site as long as it's in good condition. I actually found a different Mack Weldon polo at the same Goodwill today, and I passed on it because it was all pilled up. And this is a new brand to me. I couldn't ignore the numbers though. I don't know if this is ether or aether, but the full keyword is, we'll call it ether. Ether apparel. And ether apparel sweaters have 100% sell-through. A lot of them sell for upwards of $50. I won't go through that. This is a trial run. This is a margin call because it does have pilling on it. If you don't know what pilling is, that's a really important keyword to know. That's when the fabric forms little burrs and balls like that. That's called pilling. And I have a sweater shaver. It's a really cheap device that I recommend getting if you don't have one, where you can minimize the pilling. It's great on wool stuff. This fine, I don't know how it'll do, but I couldn't. I almost threw it back, but I couldn't. This is just a test run. $7. We'll see how it does. I'm always looking, when I find really promising brands like this, I'll pull the trigger on it because I'm always looking to add to that Rolodex of like hole-in-one brands that I can just buy without having to look everything up. Like I did that with a brand called Mollusk of California, and I listed a sweater from them for the first time. After having passed it over a bunch of times, I finally pulled the trigger, bought it, listed it, it sold within 48 hours. So always looking to upgrade and find new brands in that way. So I'm going to watch some Monday Nitro, drink my herbal tea, and list this stuff, and go bankrupt. So thanks for watching, guys. Good luck.